Now, the other thing, John, question that Chelsea fans, and indeed I haven't successfully answered yet, is his replacement, Morata. Now, Morata was a squad player at Real Madrid. He did score 20-odd goals, but he was coming on against the Celta Vigas and the Levantes and the lesser teams. He went to Juventus on loan. What have you made of what you've seen of him? I know it's too early to judge him on 3 or 4 games.
Well, he looks like a good footballer, Eamon. I don't think he's up to the pace of the Premiership that I see at the moment.
Yeah.
He doesn't assert himself enough, as if he's waiting for it to happen and he'll score a goal and I'll say he's a good finisher. But he needs to put more into it. But it's very, very difficult to know exactly what the transfer situation was during the close season with Conte and Abramovich, or whoever was running the transfers.
I think Emiliano, the director of football, who's the real power there, I think he was running the transfers, John, because Conte made it very clear that he wasn't happy.
Well, he was very unhappy. Matic went without his permission. We don't really know who he wanted as a forward. You see, I think what happens to these guys, Eamon, and it happened at Liverpool, they give the manager a list of players that they can choose from. But sometimes the player that he really wants is not on the list.
Yeah.
That's how they trap the managers, because what they'll say is, oh yes, the manager was in agreement with what we did, but the guy he wants is not on the list. So we don't really know what Conte actually wanted or who he wanted.
No.
Did he want Lukaku? We don't know whether he wanted Lukaku or not.
Well, it said he did.
Well, he didn't get him.
The speculation is that he did. The speculation also, and it's quite informed speculation, I think, is that Abramovich has decided that he's not in the big spending game anymore. He can't compete with the Qataris at Manchester City, rather at PSG, and the guys from Abu Dhabi who are at Manchester City. He's not getting into that particular game. So, and that's why they have so many youth players. They laid out a youth development program years ago now, which hasn't in fact yielded a single player.
No, but it's yielded a lot of money, Eamon.
It has, yeah, because they're letting them go.
No, I wouldn't. I don't. I know what you're saying, but I'm not so sure the money situation is the big problem with Abramovich, because the youth policy actually is a very, very clever business policy. They're actually making money on that.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not costing them any money. They sold that lad to Bournemouth, was it?
Actually, for 20 million, yeah.
20 million, and other players bits and pieces. So they're not. That's a good business venture.
Right.
But you see, the money had nothing to do with Matic leaving.
No.
So we're talking about the control of the situation with Conte. Now, Bromwich might be like we're talking to Lukaku's situation. I mean, Lukaku cost X amount of money, but they got 40 million in for Matic that they didn't want to. That Conte didn't want. So it's a bit of a mess. We don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes there, but we do know that definitely Conte is not in charge of the situation in a way that he would want to.
Right, and the other thing we do know is he didn't get an extension to his contract after winning the title, but he did get a rise. He's on 9 million a year, but it's still a 2-year contract, and I for one would say that he's unlikely to see it out, John, because these things have a way of worsening, don't they, as the season progresses?
Definitely. They don't get any better, Eamon. They definitely don't get any better. I think what happened to him, I think he's moved his family over and committed himself to Chelsea and to go to London. And I think when the Matic thing happened, this is my take on it, that look, I've gone so far now, I've got all the family, I'll have to put up with it. But they only can put up with it for so long. And I think that it's definitely shown on the pitch, Eamon. There's a lack of discipline there at the weekend against Arsenal that we hadn't seen all last year, and one or two other what we consider little things, but are actually very, very major things in the running of the club.
Yeah, and we should say in passing that Eden Hazard didn't start either against Arsenal, but that may be down to fitness issues.